Guardianship records give an accounting of the funds for the children who have been orphaned and what they received with the funds used. In most cases, it is the father who has died and the children are still living with their mother. Sometimes the mother has been appointed as the guardian, but it is common to see that someone else has been appointed as the guardian of the children. This doesn't mean that the mother isn't taking care of her children. It means someone else is watching over the money and reporting how the money to take care of the children is used. If you happen to find a guardianship record for one of your relatives, it is usually a wonderful record that gives the name of the father and the children, and often the mother's name, and many times her last name after she has remarried. This video will show you how to find these records and what you might find. Alright, today I'm going to show you how to look up guardianship records and some of the things that you can find in guardianship records. Just remember that in all the different courts, they're listed under different things, but I'm going to show you a few of them. So in Family Search, you go to Search, Catalog. I go to Online. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I do a lot in Pennsylvania. There it is. I'll go here and I'm going to look under probate. That's usually where you're going to find them, under probate. And for Pennsylvania, it's under these accounts current. Sometimes I actually have some that just say guardianship records. And like right here, subjects, guardianship, it tells you probate, guardianship, land, property. Okay, I want to go to this record right here. At the beginning of these, there's usually an index, and I want to show you here, we're going to look up for guardianship. So we have, here's an allotment, inventory, allotment, inventory, account sales, current. Now here's one, Allen's Orphans Guardianship, GND. That's what that is. It's an abbreviation. It's a guardianship account. And here's another one, page 343 and page 346. Now here's Alan Christian and another guardianship, page 33, page 36, and here's another one for Felix Allen, and page 39 and 46. So sometimes they'll spell out guardianship, but sometimes they don't. So I just kind of wanted to give you an idea. Let's see if we can find any over here. I should have looked beforehand, but I don't see any. Here's one right here. Gilbert Deere, orphan guardianship account current. So a lot of times in these guardianships, they're giving an account of how money has been spent. There's money set up, I guess, to help take care of the family or the children. Now I want to go to the G's. Okay. Over here we have Glasscock guardianship, page 32. Here's George 277, and that's the one we're going to look at. There's also a William one, account current, page 309, and the same William 311. So we're going to look at George Glasscock, and let me just show you real quick. If you're looking for the dates, I've showed this on many of my other videos, but you just iconify it and then you just start looking. You click and you see if you can read the page. That's 63. Well, I've already found this one, so I'm just going to go right to it. Here's the 277. And over here, at least in Pennsylvania, and many other courts do the same thing, they kind of list the name of the person and what kind of account it is over to the left. So we have the Orphans of George Glasscock, and it's deceased, DEC with little hyphenated, not hyphenated, superscripted D. That's how they abbreviate deceased. Account with Mary Glasscock, the guardian. So I found George Glasscock, and his wife is Mary. And the children that are listed in Family Search are William, Sarah, George, John, Polly. Polly is a nickname for Mary, so her name was probably Mary Lorraine. Judith, Elizabeth, and Martha. So those are the names we're looking for. So we come down here in 1813, and it's John Glasscock, And we see that boarding, clothing, and tuition. So it looks like he's gone to a boarding school. And it says one piece. I'm not sure what that is, nankin, but here's paper, ink powder, some mending of shoes. So shoes had to be fixed. Shoes, 1 grammar, and cutting cloth. Military school. So it looks like he might be going to military school. They paid Abraham Sidnor in 1814 for something. Yards of cambric, some kind of fabric. Anyways, this tells what they spent money on and kind of the dates. So let's go look. Does he have a John? And there's George John. There he is right there. Okay, we have Sarah H. Glascock. And there is Sarah H. Glasscock. And again, it tells the things. Here's for schooling, shoes, mending of shoes, something, a hair comb. So you can kind of see what they spent the money on. Now let's go to the next page. Okay. And they spent quite a bit on Sarah. Quite a few things. Here's a velvet ribbon, shoes, schooling in Lynchburg. So she went to school in Lynchburg. Okay, here's Mary Glasscock, boarding and clothing. So it looks like she went somewhere to school. A white ribbon. So do they have a Mary? Yep, there was that Polly. Okay. And we keep looking down here. Here's Judith Glasscock, boarding and clothing. So she's also going to school somewhere. There's Judith. There she is. So, this might be interesting to type these different things up and put it under each person. Here's Elizabeth, and there was an Elizabeth. There's Elizabeth right there. And then we have Martha. And there's Martha. So that is just really good source for this family to prove that these are the children. Now, I can't remember if we saw William. 1797, he should still be at home. Maybe we did, I can't remember. But oh, there he is right there. There's William Glasscock. So he was just listed last, I'm not sure. Oh, well, he's listed. This is Elizabeth. Excuse me. Getting over this illness. So William Glasscock, John, Sarah, Polly, Judith, Betsy, which would be Elizabeth, and Martha, orphans of George Glasscock, deceased with Mary Glasscock as their guardian. So that is one of the reasons, if you can find a guardianship record, it's not good because it means the father died or both parents have died, but it usually lists the children. So I wanted to show you that one, and I will take a little break and then bring up another one that I wanted to show you. Okay, here is the next one that I wanted to show you. This is the Orphans of John Craddock, the account with Mary Bumpus, their guardian. So the very first person on here is Priscilla Craddock. Now this one I came across, it was actually not listed as a guardianship record. So sometimes you have to actually just look for the different accounts, but this is definitely a guardianship. And here is John Craddock here. And here he's married to Mary. It's his second wife. And I want to show you, so if we click here on Mary, it shows she's married to John Craddock, and her next husband is Robert Bumpus. So she has remarried to him when this is taking place. So let's go back here to this account. We have Priscilla Craddock to Mary Bumpus, her guardian. Okay, and then we have, again, like the other one, shoes, muslin apron, it lists the different things, slippers. So we come down here and we don't see a Priscilla. And at first it kind of threw me off. But we have to remember that he was married before, and if you look, here's Priscilla. So Priscilla was still young enough. These children were old enough that they didn't need to have guardianships, but Priscilla did. So there is Priscilla, and her guardian is Mary Bumpus. So we have Priscilla here, and then we have Judah. Let's go over here and look. Here's Judith, and Mary Bumpus as her guardian. We have Sarah Craddock. Okay, and here's Sarah. And so we should still have a Frances. Okay, and we come up here. See if we can find a Frances. I might have missed it, but I'm pretty sure she's there somewhere. Here's Frances Craddock. So now for some reason they put it up here. And Nathaniel Craddock. So let's go back. And there's Nathaniel. So now we've accounted for Priscilla and these children here. And so some of these, see, it says for guardian, so I know these are as a guardian one, but when you look in the index, it just says Craddock, and it says something about an estate. So if you're look at everything, even if it doesn't say guardianship, if it has Craddock there, if that's the name you're looking for, look at every single one of the estates or the accounts that are there. Now I wanted to show you one other thing, because this one also was not listed under guardianship, but this one came right next to it, right after it. And this one is the estate of William Corbin, deceased, with William Nelson as the administrator, of Susanna, his wife, the late widow of the administrator. So I am not sure, I didn't pull this one up. I could have, I know I found it, I looked it up a long time ago. I just wanted to show you what things you might find. And here to support Jemima Corbin, orphan of William Corbin. So again, this one is not listed as a guardianship, but it is in these records. But the thing that's amazing about here, it says deceased, William Corbin is deceased, Jemima Corbin is the orphan, so his daughter, and it gives her birth date, June 9th, 1788. And then it gives Thompson Corbin, and he's an orphan, and it says born May the 19th, 1791. And then here's, looks like Polly Corbin, and born, and it gives the birth dates of the children. Just fantastic. It's the only one I've seen like that, but you have to really watch. The best thing is to look for the guardianships, but then if anything else is listed, any kind of estate, accounting, look at all of them, and you never know what you're going to find. All right, to finish this off, I just wanted to show you a few other counties. So I came to Stark, Ohio, and looked. And I looked at this court records, 1810 to 1893 indexes. And when you come down here, index to guardians or trustees. And here's guardians' dockets. So that's where you would be looking for guardians. Here's some more guardians records, 1850 to, so this gives you some dates. So that's how they do, that's how they list theirs. So let's look here. This one is Williamson County, Illinois. Let's see if I can remember. Oh, here. Williamson County Wills Book, and it says Administrative Executors and Guardians for Children. So you would click here to find your guardianship records there. All right, and then this one is for Pitt County, North Carolina. Let's see if I can remember what I did here. Oh, right here. Guardians and Administrative Accounts. So this is the record you would be looking at. Now, it's got probate records, 1663, so if you can't find something there, try some of the other ones. You just never know. I just wanted to show you in some of the different counties kind of how they list it and where you could find those guardianship records. They're wonderful records if you can actually find them, and it really does help you to identify different families and the children and the parents, sometimes the mother and the father. Have fun finding those guardianship records.
Happy hunting!